of President Trump at the end of November and warns that Herschel Walker threatens Republicans' push to take back the Senate. Joined now by Georgia Lieutenant Governor Geoff Duncan. Mr. Lieutenant Governor, appreciate you joining us, sir. As always, we're going to get to the score in the high school football game in just a couple of minutes, but every possible way that Republicans retake the Senate runs through Georgia. If they want to retake the White House, it runs through Georgia. Why would an NFL great threaten that chance?
Well, Herschel Walker certainly is an incredible football player, an incredible athlete, and obviously has name ID out the wazoo. So I give him all the credit in the world for his football career. The problem that I've got and millions of other Georgians is we just don't know anything about his politics. He's been in Texas for decades, and good for him and his family. But we don't know anything about his politics with one exception. He's really good friends with Donald Trump, and Donald Trump has endorsed him at the early parts of his campaign. And so my hope is that if he is a true conservative, he lets us know about it, and he campaigns hard, and he pushes for those values that I think Georgians appreciate.
2020 presidential results in Georgia, Biden 49.47%, President Trump at the time 49.24%. Undoubtedly, President Trump is the most popular Republican in Georgia. He comes in, I know he doesn't have a lot of affection for you, doesn't have a lot of affection for Brian Kemp, the governor there. I'm wondering what that does for down-ticket Republicans come 2022.
Well, down-ticket Republicans in 2020 performed much higher than former President Trump. In the state Senate, where I'm the president of the Senate, Republican senators got 53.7% of the vote here in Georgia, as opposed to his 49 and change. And so, look, I think approach means a lot. I think the voters are now watching this all play out and really just want leadership. The unfortunate parts of the campaign in 2020 led us down a rabbit trail that was all about, look, he should have talked about all the policy wins, because they were wins.
I guess
instead it was all about.
Yeah, no. My question would be, though, that President Trump was not able to push the two Senate candidates in the runoff election. It's why Democrats controlled the Senate that Republicans lost there in January. And I guess the question would be, does President Trump have any coattails in Georgia, or is he just showing up for himself, in your view? Yeah,
look, I've watched this play out during the Senate runoffs. I watched former president come into town and spend 45 minutes on a stage, of which 1 minute talking about David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler, and 44 minutes talking about everybody he doesn't like. And that's just not a winning strategy. We've seen that play out. I think Georgia's ready to turn the page. And look, we've done a lot of great things here in Georgia with conservative leadership. One of the lowest unemployment rates, billions of dollars in a savings account. We've got a strong, vibrant economy despite a pandemic that's still raging. We're working hard here to put conservative values on display, and that's really what we need to champion if you want to win in this race, is really, the center-right leaning state we're in, and a center-right leaning country, for that matter, is craving real leadership. I think conservatives have got to stop being angry and just start being conservative again.
Well, that would be interesting if any conservatives did that, noteworthy for that matter. I'm interested in your take on what President Biden had to say today. Already South Dakota is saying they're going to sue to stop some of the mandates that are coming down, especially some of the policies of having employers with over 100 employees either having to test or force vaccine mandates. Is that something you think Georgia should join in on?
Well, I just got bits and pieces on the way down to my son's game here of President Biden's press conference. But from what I've heard, look, it's an overreach, but unfortunately it's another painful reminder of the consequences of losing an election and putting somebody like President Biden in the White House to make decisions like this and others. It seems like every week we've got a new raging issue like Afghanistan, like an economy, like other COVID-related decisions. I mean, it's painful to watch this play out. And I've said this from the get-go. All these mandates around masks and vaccines, it's a distraction from the health care focus of trying to get folks vaccinated and trying to keep people healthy and keep schools open and businesses vibrant. It's a distraction for the most part, and for an overwhelming majority of Americans who are doing the right thing and trying to stay safe.
Yeah, I know Georgia certainly, Governor Kemp came down pretty hard and said he wasn't going to shut down, kept a lot of Georgia open. Where does the red state divide go for this, go from the federal government in this, in the sense of, do you guys keep fighting on issues of mask mandates and fight back against the federal government on these things, or are you going to have to just accept whatever they send down?
Yeah, the notion I get, the early feedback I'm getting from folks around the state is this is just an overreach of epic proportion. It's going to impede businesses. It's going to overwhelm staff. Concerns that are already an issue. Folks aren't showing up to work. Folks aren't showing up for the jobs that are out there. This is going to continue to further disrupt the labor markets. This is a real issue. It's going to create even more confusion in a period of time that we're just all trying to hang on and try to get through this to the best of our abilities.
I got to ask you though, there were so
unfortunate,
many.
but once again, it's a painful reminder.
Yeah. Well, elections have consequences, I think was once said. All right, real quick here, as I look behind you, we've heard the sounds of Southern football on a Thursday night. The South Versailles High School War Eagles versus Banneker High School. What's the latest score?
I think it's still 12-0.
Is it 12-0 good, guys?
We're up and late in the game, so hopefully we can keep the ball and drive it in again.
All right. Mr. Lieutenant Governor, we appreciate the time, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
All right. Great to see you. All right, more kids were shot in one major U.S. city this year than have died from COVID in the entire country. We're going to talk to you about some new numbers that make you think for a minute about the new vaccine mandates.